Taco Bell Saved My Son's Life by TJ Luna. My son told me he wanted to own a Taco Bell when he grew up. He said this to me when we were out doing bro stuff, like shopping for mom and paying another man to change the oil and rotate the tires on our practical mid-size SUV. Lastly, we stopped for a much-needed haircut. In the midst of all this fun, I forgot to feed him, which is no bueno for the father of a diabetic. Waiting in the fat leather chair of the overly sports-themed dude cut establishment, he began to slouch in his seat. His eyes sunk into his little skull and his skin turned gray, and he urgently whispered, "I don't feel good." Racing to check his sugar, it was obvious he needed food. Like a true failure of a dad, I didn't pack any juice or candy for an emergency pick-me-up. So I told the plump stylist with the oversized glasses, "Hey, we'll be right back," before racing next door and slinging the boy over my shoulder. Jumping a wall like an Olympic hurdler, I burst through the door. We ran smack dab into an invisible smell cloud of processed taco meat and carbs. "Hey, 10 hard-shell tacos," I yelled. Luckily, this is one fast food place that routinely lives up to the moniker, and there were at least 20 pre-made and ready to go. He scarfed 2 in under a minute. As his skin returned to a lovely shade of pink that his pretty blonde boy I don't tan complexion usually has, he walked to the front counter and told the skinny jeans wearing, floppy hair having, and obviously stoned Gen Z millennial reject clerk who saved my life. The kid surreptitiously glared back and said, "Cool, man." You'd never believe how many Caucasian wannabe Jamaican kids there are in the Southwest. As we went back over the wall, he turned to me and said, "I think I want to own a Taco Bell when I grow up." I harkened back to a similar story from my childhood. My grandmother accidentally locked herself out of her bedroom, and I rushed to the rescue with an old banana yellow handled butter knife. Slipping it through the space between the door jamb and the lock, I freed it from its binding. I spent the next year telling friends and family I was going to be a locksmith. In reality, I became a medic that spends his days dreaming every minute about being someone else. I looked down at my son and said, "Can I get free tacos?" He laughed and nodded and said, "Of course. You're my dad. I love you." Returning home, I stretched my arms out, threw myself down on my favorite chair, and placed my hands behind my head. With a look of exhaustion from the day's event, I knew I was missing something. And we never did get that haircut.